Okay, so the last time we did the fuselage for video one, video two was adding fins. You can do that any way you want. I'm still taking the same fuselage here, so I haven't done anything to this. In fact, I just saved it. The first time is fuselage, and then I did another save as fins, and now I'll do a save as I'll do a fuselage with a straw, and I've already saved it once, so I'm just over saving it over again, and it's still the same fuselage. I think what I want to do is go back to the top plane, do a sketch on the top plane, and there's a couple. I guess there's a couple ways you can do this. You can either do a straw on the side that is from the bottom up, maybe halfway, or from the this lip down. You can do that. Doesn't really matter. I'm just going to do it here from the bottom up. It's, I guess, what I just prefer. Um, but you can do it any other way you want. So kind of like the fins, what we're going to do is maybe give ourselves a center line here on the side. There we go. And I think the circle itself, right here, don't put it in the middle there. It'll kind of mess you up a little bit. But I want to say that our it had to be at least point 0 or point. It wasn't point 1. I want to say it was at least point 1.5. I think was a minimum. You could do point 2. Let's do point 1.5. Nope, that's pretty big. Is it pretty big? I think that'll work. It should be more than enough. It's big enough. It just has to hold it on there. So 0.15 is probably more than sufficient. If you want to make it a little bit smaller, 0.125, you can. I'm just going to make this 1.15, which looks really big. So I'm going to go with this and see what happens. So let's move this. Oh, let's move this over just a little bit. So when I extrude it, it doesn't extrude this part. And then I need to do another circle. And from the same portion right there. And let's make that one 0.2. Can we make that 0.2? 0.22. That looks pretty good. How about 0.23? That gives us a difference of 0.08 in between. I know the 3D printer can print that. You can make it a little bit bigger if you want. And that should be good. So what I'll do now is I'm going to go ahead and extrude it all the way up. It doesn't have to be all the way up. That's really big. That's 2.75. Let's make it at least just 0.75 inches. It doesn't have to be that big. You can make it bigger if you want. It's not a big deal. All right. So there's a straw section. That was actually pretty easy. There's actually a couple other things that I'd like to do. So I like fillet. So this right here looks kind of funky. So I'm going to fillet it, and I'm going to fillet this side as well. So what it's going to do is it's going to look really nice. And then check this out. So let's do the fillets there. It's 0.1 inches. That seems sufficient. Now look how nice it wrapped it. So it's a little bit more aerodynamic, I would suppose. And then one of the things I like to fillet is the top section right here. So I can fillet this and watch what it does. How cool is that? A little bit better. The problem is if you do the fillet down here on the bottom, right here, it may want to do the whole bottom. So we can do that right there. And I could also do the outside of this right here. Let's see what it does. And do a fillet of that, or maybe it's too big. I wonder if it's not going to let me do that because I already did the other side, or because I did the inside. It doesn't really matter. You could do the inside or outside. I think the outside is what I did last time down here. The inside looks pretty good. I don't know how well it's going to print that, so just be careful. In fact, you know what? Let's do this. Let's take out that last fillet. I don't know if 3D printer is going to be able to do that. Let's leave it like that, and then instead of doing this fillet, let's edit that. And instead of doing that edge, delete. Let's do the outside edge. We'll see what it does with the face. What is it? Oh no, I don't want to. I don't think I want to do that. Let's not do the face. Let's do the outside edge. There we go. What does that do? Wow, look at that. That's way more aerodynamic. All right, I like that. So we're going to go with that one, and I think it should be all right. If you wanted to do the bottom, that's fine, except for just remember the 3D printer might kind of mess up a little bit doing it. And that should be about it. So that's how I add the straw portion to it. All right.